WHCS Channel 29 presents Peninsula District Girls Basketball. The Phoebus Phantoms and the Kecoughtan Warriors. From Phoebus High School, this is Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble. We are here for the clash between the Lady Phantoms and the Lady Warriors. Bob, on paper, this doesn't look like much of a clash.
It really doesn't. It's going to be kind of a blowout, but we got A.G. standing by with the coaches, so let's go ahead and go to A.G. and the two coaches.
Okay, thanks, Bob and Tim. Mike McCormick, tough task tonight. Your thoughts going into it?
Hey, I can't imagine playing anybody in the state that would be tougher than Phoebus tonight. They're an excellent ball club, they're a veteran ball club, and they're about as well coached as a team can possibly be.
Dawn Paps is bad out there tonight. How's she been playing?
Well, she's playing about as well as you can expect a young lady who's been out for a couple of months. She still favors her hand quite a bit, and I would too if it was my hand. It was a very bad break, and you know, we just hope that she can finish the year with some success.
Mike, congratulations, 17-0 so far. What kind of preparation for tonight's game?
We do the same thing from week to week, just work on the fundamentals and try to play defense aggressively and not make a whole lot of mistakes. And Mike's always well prepared, even regardless of what talent he has. He's very knowledgeable about the game, and that makes it interesting anytime you're coaching against him.
All right, good luck to you guys tonight. Two Mikes. Tim, Bob.
All right, as they shake hands and get ready to square off, we're going to have the introduction of the starting lineups.
That is not us, Tim. Even though it blew my hair is standing straight up, and I noticed some new growth on yours. Jeez. Well, they're trying to get that thing fixed, Tim. Well, they're trying to get that thing squared away. This is you got the #1 team in the district going against the team that's in last place, Tim. And Mike McCormick's team Tuesday played a Lafayette team, and he had 8 young ladies out with the flu, and that was the first night back for Dawn Paps. Dawn will be playing quite a bit, but her stamina, as you can imagine, Tim, is not very good. She'll get tired real quick.
Tuesday night, Kecoughtan came away from Lafayette on the short end of a 63-21 score. As you said, Bob, half the team, or more than half the team, felled by the flu. On the other side of the coin, Phoebus walked all over Ferguson, 84-15 Tuesday night, so they have extended their streak to 17 undefeated games in the season. And they are well on their way to of course, representing the Peninsula District in the tournament. And hopefully for them, they intend to go much further than that if possible.
Well, Tim, they are getting some mention in USA Today, but as what happens in USA Today, they're only going to recognize one team out of Virginia, and that's Lake Braddock. And Lake Braddock is number 14 in USA Today, but people who have seen Lake Braddock and seen Phoebus say this Phoebus team is head and shoulders above the Lake Braddock team. So give you an idea, this is an excellent ball club.
While we're talking here, they're introducing the players. Let us make you aware of those players that have been introduced for Kecoughtan so far. 24, Shannon Wayman. 21 is Jamie Pardue. Number 40 is Tanya Carrington. Number 20 is Dawn Paps, making only her second appearance since you may have heard Mike Talon, there we go. You might have heard her coach say that she has had a severe break to her hand, and she's just trying to work back into shape. Of course, this has been a terrible shame because Dawn Pabst is an excellent athlete, not only in basketball, but in softball as well.
Right, and you can see there, Tim, the Phoebus starters, number 10 is Nikki Reed. You and I just think the world of her. Tammy Boggs had an awesome game against Phoebus the last time we did. She scored 30 points. That's number 15. Number 24, Juanita Cook. Number 25, Athena Johnson. And number 41, Monica Hart. And these are all excellent ball players. And Mike can come off the bench with some more girls that are as good as what he puts out on the field sometimes. So I don't look for this to be a close game, but Mike McCormick will get as much out of his girls as he can, Tim.
The head coaches, Mike McCormick for Kecoughtan, Phoebus, of course, Mike Talon. And they are at, as I said before, the opposite ends of the spectrum as far as the success of their teams are concerned this year. We have the teams on the floor. We're again amazed to see the picture as clear as it is, considering the sparsity of light here at Phoebus High School. It's almost dark in here. We're not talking about just normal, we're talking dark.
Right, but look at the floor, Tim. The floor is a dark blue, so you're not going to get much reflection off of it as you would a wood floor that is more, it's a lot lighter color, and it's going to reflect some of the light, but that is an excellent picture. We are running a little short tonight. Dr. Sam is down in Texas, and Joe B. Lewis, Slow-Mo Joe, made his way to the Mardi Gras for a week. So I hope they two have a good time, and we'll miss them up here.
We obviously are paying Slow-Mo Joe too much. All right, we're underway as the ball is controlled by the Phantoms. This is Nikki Reed all the way across court for Tammy Boggs. Her shot is no good, but rebounded by Juanita Cook. And finally, the rebound comes off for Kecoughtan. Dawn Paps puts it up. It doesn't go. Rebound, follow shot, no good. And knocked out of bounds, and it was last touched by the Warriors.
Actually, it went off the leg of one of the Lady Warriors, Tim. It was just knocked right down off of her leg.
Set shot, Nikki Reed hits for her first basket of the night, and Phoebus leads 2-0. Just underway from Phoebus High School. 4 8-minute quarters in high school basketball.
And Mike Talon's got his girls in a half-court 1-3-1 trap, Tim. They're picking them up at half court, and they're trying to trap the ball, and of course that puts a lot of pressure on Dawn.
And a jump ball called.
That was a rather quick whistle, but nonetheless it was a good call.
We are on the same side of the court this evening as the official score, so we won't have the advantage of knowing at all times where the possession arrow was pointing, but we understand from the obvious handing of the ball to Dawn Pabst that Kecoughtan has the possession for this particular occasion. There is no shot clock in high school basketball.
And they're in a man-to-man now, the Phoebus girls are, and they'll double team Dawn whenever she tries to drive for the basket.
This is Dawn Pabst, bounces it off her knee, and she'll have to give up the dribble now. Finds a teammate to throw to. That is Shannon Wayman. Back to Dawn Pabst, guarded closely by Carleen Hargrave, who was not in the lineup last time we saw Phoebus play last week. Back come the Phantoms, leading 2-0. Nikki Reed bounce pass, Carleen Hargrave off the rim, no good. And the rebound comes off for Melody Ewing. Phoebus team, 17 victories in a row this season. And they have not tasted defeat yet. You see Dawn Pabst trying to find somebody to throw to. Ball is knocked back out. 5:25 left. Pabst will put it up. No good.
She got a nice screen that time from Jamie Pardue to free her up so she could get that shot off, and we got a foul underneath the basket.
The foul is on Juanita Cook. That is her first. And going to the free throw line will be Melody Ewing. She'll have 2 shots.
Tim, I don't know if the people can see it, but when we get a shot of Dawn, look at her hand, and you'll notice she's got her 2 middle fingers that are still taped together, so she does favor that hand, and being right-handed, that's the hand that she shoots with and dribbles with for the most part. That would be her dominant hand.
Good on the first one is Melody Ewing. Getting ready to check in the lineup for Kecoughtan will be Roxanne Zuer. Second shot is short. And Phoebus brings it down, leading by 2-1. Tammy Boggs inside. Juanita Cook off the glass and good.
Oh, nice pass by Tammy, because you would expect her to shoot that nice 15-footer. She is really an excellent shooter, but that's an assist. Whereas the coach's standpoint, Tim, that's what you look for more than anything else is the assist. There's a good shot of our sideline camera. Sam Jr. is down at that end of the court, so we're going to get some nice shots on that camera tonight.
Zur checks in for Kecoughtan. Ball is stolen by Reed. Nikki puts it off the glass and good. So Nikki Reed has 4 points, and her team leads 6-1.
And Phoebus is still in that half-court 1-3-1 trap.
Mike McCormick giving instructions to Dawn Pabst. And it's stolen again. Back come the Phantoms, 2-on-2. Reed switches hands on the dribble, puts it up, it's no good. And we've got a foul. No, we have a traveling call.
And we have a young lady that is hurt, number 24, Tim, is shook out at Shannon Wyman. And I don't know if she got hit in the face as Nikki went up or what. I can't tell.
She is in some pain, and we hope it's not serious. She's being attended to.
I think she's grabbing her ankle, Tim. It's hard to see from this angle. Yeah, they're taking they got some ice. One of the assistant coaches is bringing out some ice, and so obviously she twisted her ankle. We hope it's not a serious thing.
4:31 left here in the first quarter. Phoebus leading 6-1. The 1 point scored by Melody Ewing. There you see Dawn Pabst on your screen. Maybe we can get a shot of her right hand.
There you go.
See the taped fingers. I'm not sure. I think we heard, but I don't recall exactly how she broke her hand.
Well, I was at the ball game, Tim. It was one of the very first ball games of the year. It was against the Denby team, and she just went down. They was going for the ball, and they went on the ground, and it looked like you kind of sprained a wrist or something, and that's what I think everybody thought it was at first. But it was so much pain, they took her to the hospital and found out there was some cracks in the knuckle and in the finger. So I mean, it was not a clean break, and it was not a simple break. It was a very serious thing, because she's been out for almost 2 months, and you lose any conditioning you have. You can't shoot. It's hard to do anything. We're glad to see her back.
And unfortunately for the Warriors, they have still got Shannon Wayman being attended to. Her left ankle seems to be the concern. Mike Talon, the coach for Phoebus, over there helping. Dr. Mike, I guess we could call him.
Oh, boy, we'll give him some accolades tonight. He asked me I told him last game, I said, Mike, you didn't see the game? He says, no, I didn't even got to see it yet. And I said, listen, we really built you up. He says, well, I paid you good, right? And I says, well, the check bounced. So he's an excellent coach. He does a tremendous job with the girls. And Mike McCormick will be one of the very first to tell you that he's probably one of the best high school girls basketball coaches or high school coaches in the state, that he has got his girls well prepared. As you and I have seen, that the Phoebus girls are always very competitive and well prepared for any contest they go into.
Well, we have seen Shannon Wayman carried over to the sidelines, and hopefully she will be all right. Apparently she has severely sprained her left ankle, and let's hope that that's all it is. And now a timeout being called by Kecoughtan to regroup.
Well, they've got to get They've got to get another ball player in. Tim, he hasn't substituted. And yeah, here comes number 40. Tonya Carrington is coming in.
We get a chance to mention the officials' names tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, I sure didn't. The referee is Rex Davis, and the umpire is John DeDuro.
Now, which one is which?
Rex Davis is the one that's got his back to us, Tim,
so
and he's got a mustache.
Okay,
I think they both do.
Well, John has got a beard. John DeDuro has got a beard. So.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, we know who he is. The bearded one is underneath the basket.
There we see, there's Rex Davis. The unappreciated zebras, the people that make the game go.
Yeah, they really do, and they are unappreciated, Tim, and I'm probably one is as guilty as the other one. There's a good shot of John DeDiro. I give him a hard time, and I guess that's my coaching background. I don't know. I'm not. I don't need to make a point about it, but they do an excellent job, and you and I have talked before, we would neither one get out there and do that.
No, I'm the first to criticize them, and I'm the last one that would want to be one. All right, we're set to go. And Kecoughtan controls the inbounds pass. There you see pressure from Phoebus, though. Don Pabst. And they have a 10-second line that they do finally cross, and then Dawn steps on the sideline.
Well, actually, I think what happened, Tim, is the ball bounced on the sideline. She's getting all kind of pressure. That's the first time the Phoebus came out with a full court press.
Tammy Boggs from her favorite spot doesn't hit this time. But the rebound comes off for Juanita Cook. Her shot no good, and finally controlled by Kecoughtan. Roxanne Zuer gets the rebound. So 6-1 is still the score. 4 minutes exactly remaining here in the first quarter. The 6 points by Phoebus have been scored, and we see Dawn Pabst hit for her first 2 points of the game. Nikki Reed has 4 of the 6, and Juanita Cook has the other 2. So it's 6-3 now. Phoebus by 3 with the ball. Reed looks into big Monica Hart. Nikki Reed will shoot just inside the three-point line. It's no good. And chased down and controlled by Juanita Cook. Her shot's too strong. Boggs with the rebound, puts it in.
And there was a classic example, Tim, of if you're underneath the other team's basket, you don't throw the ball, save the ball back underneath, because that's exactly what happened when the Kecoughtan girls did it. And, of course, Phoebus ended up with the ball and scoring the points.
Pabst going to the basket is fouled. And the foul will be charged to Tammy Boggs. That'll be her first, the team's second.
And Keisha Reese, number 22, checks in for Tammy Boggs. So Mike is substituting pretty freely here at the beginning of the game.
Dawn Pabst connects on the first of 2. I was looking around. I didn't see Daddy Pabst here tonight.
I don't know if Daddy's here or not. He usually is at the ball games.
Dawn connects with the second. She's got 4 of her team's 5 points. Reed covered very quickly. Athena Johnson, cross court, put the shot up. It's short. She follows on her own rebound, gets her third rebound, puts it up, still doesn't go. Monica Hart finally puts it in.
Well, you get 4 shots, Tim. You got to make one of them, especially when you're within 2 feet of the basket for 3 of them.
Fan behind us was yelling out 3-second violation. I think he had a good case there. There were several players for Phoebus in that lane.
Well, Tim, there was not a violation there. Once the ball is shot, then it's 3 seconds starts again. So you don't have a 3 second the whole time the ball is being shot. So there was no violation there.
Athena Johnson, number 25, called for her first personal foul. Going to the free throw line again will be Dawn Pabst. Explain that to me again, Bob. That's interesting because I didn't know that.
Once the ball is shot, there's no longer a 3 second violation. There could no longer a 3 second in effect because nobody has possession of the ball. When it comes down and there's a rebound and you're fighting for it until somebody gets it, then the 3 seconds starts again. And as soon as somebody got it for Phoebus, they put it up again. So there was never a time that anybody held the ball long enough to even get a 3 second.
That's interesting because as a typical fan, I assumed that you could not be in the paint, period, for more than 3 seconds, regardless of who had the ball. If you were on defense, you could, but on offense, you could not.
Yeah.
Keisha Reese connects for her first basket. Phoebus is spreading their scoring around. They lead 12-7, and they intercept the ball, and then a foul. Nikki Reed was fouled, and she was fouled by Melody Ewing. And it'll be a player control foul. As you obviously could tell, Nikki was not in the act of shooting, and neither team is over the limit at this point.
Well, excuse me, Tim. I talked to Mike McCormick at length at the ball game the other night during the boys' ball game, and he told me that he is basically playing with a JV team. That there's only a couple girls out there that have any varsity experience, and of course one of them is Dawn Pabst. And he was really said that what the Hampton school system needs is a JV program for the girls like they have in Newport News. But he just wants the kids to improve every night. If they just improve, he says we don't look at the scoreboard and we don't look at who's scoring the points or who's winning. We just want to improve every night, and that's a good philosophy to have.
Don Papst's pass was too hot to handle for Tanya Carrington. It was a good pass, but she couldn't quite grasp it, and the ball goes over to Phoebus. Paps intercepts. It's a 1-on-2. Dawn will put it off the glass and in. So recuperating or not, Dawn Pabst has impressed me here in the first quarter. She has 8 of her team's 9 points. Minute and 15 to go. Tammy Boggs, no good. And the ball is kicked out, controlled by the Phantoms. Athena Johnson will fire, no good.
And look who got the rebound, Tim. The shortest girl on the court.
Monica Hart's shot goes. So Monica Hart has 2 baskets, and it's 14-9. Phoebus by 5 with 49 seconds left in the first quarter. Pabst double teamed as she crosses the timeline. Looping pass inside, and we have a foul pushing on Keisha Reese. Player control foul. And a substitution now finds Carlene Hargrove replacing Athena Johnson for Phoebus. Nikki Reed had the interception for a moment, and she was fouled in a close call, but a foul nonetheless, a second foul on Melody Ewing of Kecoughtan.
And Mike McCormick is not real happy with that call. And Tim, that could have gone either way.
They
and really
both looked like they had the same position.
It could have been a good no call.
Yeah, it was. To my mind, it was an incidental contact between the two. But of course, the official closer to the play called it the way he saw it, and his is the only one that counts, isn't it?
You're right there.
Boggs is not on tonight like she was the other night.
Wait, Tim, you wait. When she hits that first one, she gets in a rhythm. She is a tough little old gal when it comes to shooting.
Down to 17 seconds left here in the first. Pabst will pull up from 13. It doesn't go. Monica Hart clears the boards for Phoebus. 5 seconds to go. Boggs kicks it out to Reed. Two-hand set shot, no good. And that's the buzzer ending the first quarter.
Well, I'm sure Mike McCormick did not believe his team would only be behind by 5 at the end of the first quarter. And I know Mike Talon got to feel that his girls are not playing up to their potential at this point either, Tim.
Dawn Pabst led her team with 8 of the 9 points in the first quarter. Melody Ewing got the other point, and that was the first point Kecoughtan scored in the quarter. Recapping some of the other scoring, Nikki Reed and Monica Hart each had 4 for Phoebus. Tammy Boggs, Keisha Reese, and Juanita Cook each with 2 to compile their 14 points here after one quarter. If you just joined us, this game being played Friday night, February the 3rd, 1989, coming to you from Phoebus High School. There you're looking into the Phoebus huddle, and Coach Mike Talon giving instructions to his undefeated Phoebus Phantom team. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble. I'm looking for our illustrious A.G. Womble, our roving reporter. He's roved so far, I don't know where he is.
I don't either. There he is.
I knew we'd find him sooner or later. He's down there next to Sam Jr. Play is back in session here. Phoebus has the ball. Johnson finds Boggs, baseline jumper, boom.
Now you wait, Tim. She's going to heat up, mark my words. She is a streak shooter.
We saw that last week. She started a little slow last week, and then she just came on like gangbusters, scored 30 points, and sat out most of the fourth quarter.
But she was getting that open baseline jumper, Tim.
And she intercepts the pass. And she'll put it off the glass and put in 2. So just like that, it's 18-9. Shot no good, and it's controlled by the Phantoms. Athena Johnson just a little long for Tammy Boggs. Got a hand on it, but it was a little hot.
Yeah, well, it was one of those passes that if it had a little more arc on it, it would probably been a little better. It was one of those baseball throws where it just is too hot to handle.
Good accurate pass. Dawn Paps feeds underneath, and her teammate Tanya Carrington, for her efforts, gets an elbow in the face. Tammy Boggs gets 2 at the other end.
She really caught a elbow too, Tim. And I know her teeth are a little bit loose right now. But Tammy is taking off as soon as she sees that the steal has been made or the rebound has been made, and she is getting open shots, layups. The last 2 shots she's got have been layups.
Kecoughtan trying to work some plays, as you said. They're happy with their progress considering the lack of experience. Boggs is warming to the task. She's got 10.
What did I tell you? That's 8 this quarter in the Tim.
Yep, sure is. She's got all 8 of her team's points here in the second quarter. She's done that in less than 2 minutes. And then we've got a foul as reaching in. Foul is on Athena Johnson as she reached in. That's her second. And that will put Phoebus over the limit. And Dawn Paps will go to the free throw line, shooting 1 and 1. Getting ready to check in for the Warriors is Tina Schultz, number 30. Dawn Paps will get the bonus. She so far is perfect from the free throw line, 5 out of 5. And just as sure as I do that, I jinxed the young lady, and she misses her first free throw of the evening. She's 5 out of 6 now.
And you know, that happens so many times that as an announcer, you hate to say she's hasn't missed any.
It happens almost every time,
It sure does.
Monica Hart at the other end gets 2. It's 24-10 as Phoebus now starts to open up a substantial lead. Ball is last touched by the Phantoms before it went out of bounds. Paps guarded by Hargrave. Dawn carried the ball.
She knew it. She knew it. But Tim, that really wasn't a carry because she did not move her feet. So how could that be carrying?
Well, I was going to say that, but I've been wrong on tooth counts already tonight.
Well, no, you were wrong on that one, Tim. That was not a good call. They assumed she took a step, but she did not. And if we had Slow-Mo Joe here, we'd have it, and we'd be able to show you.
It's his fault.
But he's down there having a good time. But I want to ask A.G. how much that guy's getting paid. He takes off and goes down to the Mardi Gras.
Too much is right. Nikki Reed gets the roll.
That's the shooter bounce.
That ball hung on the rim and then just lazily fell through for Nikki.
Well, I know A.G. that Joe's going to have a good time down there. He's got his wife's got family, so they're going down to do a little sightseeing, I know, but they'll see some of their family too.
Paps's long rebound comes out. She was going for the three-pointer, looking to cut into that 16-point margin. Shot up, no good, and a rebound and a foul.
And Tim, that number 40 for the Warriors, Tanya Carrington, fouled number 10, Nikki Reed, and Nikki is the smallest girl out on court, but this is a good teaching thing that the kids are watching this program. Nikki blocked out the bigger ball player. The only way that ball player could get the rebound was go over her back and got the foul.
Boggs fires and puts it in. As you said, Bob, she is a streak shooter.
And she has really, she twisted an ankle, Tim.
Oh, I don't like the looks of that. I hope it's just a cramp.
She is really, she doesn't want to move.
She's going to try and walk it off, as you see her coach, Mike Talon, concerned for her well-being, of course. And of course, Tammy is such an intricate part of her team. She's limping noticeably as she comes off the court. And hopefully she will have just slightly sprained her ankle. We'll wait and see.
Well, it's nothing like the young lady Shannon Wyman, who earlier had to be carried off because of a serious sprain. At least Tammy got to come off, and that could be a break for the Warriors because she was hot. She had scored, it looks like, what, about 10 points in this quarter, Tim?
10 points in a quarter, 12 for the game. She did those 12 points in less than 4 minutes. 4:29 left here in the first half. 28-10 in favor of the Phoebus Phantoms as they are looking for victory number 18 on the season. Dawn Pabst loses control, and it's intercepted by Monica Hart. Quickly down the court for Juanita Cook. She spots a teammate open, but in her efforts to throw the ball to her, throws it out of bounds. Roxanne Zur comes back in, replacing Tina Schultz for Kecoughtan. Also in the ball game now for Kecoughtan is Vicky Snyder, number 12. There's Dawn Pabst as she is looking inside, guarded closely by Athena Johnson. Now she'll kick it back out. Melody Ewing over for Vicky Snyder for Dawn Pabst. Kecoughtan trying to get the ball inside. This is Colleen Zur.
Now they're a patient ball club, Tim. They really work the ball good. You really got to take your hat off to Mike McCormick. He has done a good job with these young ladies. And a lot of times what happens is when you have a girl that is good as Dawn and everybody else will sometimes stand around and watch her, that Kecoughtan team keeps on running through their plays, which is, you got to take your hat off to the coaching staff.
Timeout called by the Phoebus Phantoms. At this point in the game, Phoebus has only scored 1 point here in the second quarter.
You mean Kecoughtan?
Excuse me, Kecoughtan.
I think what happened there, Athena Johnson, the contact came loose there.
Oh, is that what happened? The contact, okay.
Falling on her face.
That's why they call timeout.
Is your mic on, AJ?
Yeah, he finally come on towards the end there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Athena Johnson, like I said, I saw her contact fell on her face, and that's why she was trying to get the ref's attention for the timeout.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to lose that. And that should not be a charged timeout unless the coach requests it, that they will allow him to take a timeout to fix the contact.
Monica Hart's turnaround jumper is no good. Battled for and finally controlled by Tanya Carrington of Kecoughtan. Tanya's had a couple.
I bet she feels like she's in a fight tonight.
She's had a couple of smacks to the face. 3 minutes to go here from the free throw line. Dawn Pabst. 11 points now for Dawn. She has 11 of her team's 12. Monica Hart forces the shot up, and again, Tanya Carrington ferociously rebounds.
She's got to be careful. Swinging her elbows like that can result in a technical foul. But I know she figures I'm going to give something back. I've been catching it. And all's been unintentional. I don't mean to say that she'd be getting hit and it's been intentional. It has not been. But sometimes you wonder if you're the ball player.
This is Nikki Reed, guarded by Pabst. Finds a teammate open at the baseline. Kick it back out. In now for Monica Hart, off the glass and good, just like clockwork.
And that was an excellent pass to get it into the Monica Hart down there underneath the basket by Nikki Reed.
Hart now has 8 points. Roxanne Zur.
And that was a nice pass from Dawn.
30-14, a 16-point Phoebus lead. From the free throw line, nothing but net for Carleen Hargrave. That's her first basket of the night. And the ball is knocked back into the hands. That's an interesting play. She had it knocked back, and she caught it while she was standing out of bounds.
Right. The ball went inbounds. It was hit by the Phoebus girl, and she went right back into the hands of the Kecoughtan girl. Who was that, number 12, Vicky Snyder? It went right back to her hands, Tim. And, of course, she's out of bounds, so that means the ball turned over to the Phantoms.
A minute 23 left here in the first half. 32-14. Phoebus, as expected, on top. Kecoughtan playing with great heart, though.
Yes, they are.
And speaking of Hart, that's Monica Hart. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, and it counts, and she's fouled.
She keeps right on going, Tim, and that young lady stays underneath that basket. She doesn't go wandering out. She knows that if she's underneath there, that she's either going to get the ball or she's going to get a rebound and have a nice shot.
Foul is on Zur. That's her first. Monica Hart trying for the three-point play. She's got 10 points here in the first half. And she has 11 now. Her team leads 35-14. Phoebus by 21. A prayer thrown up. Monica Hart walks with the ball as she was looking around. See who she's going to throw to.
Yeah, she should have put the ball on the floor and taken the dribble, but as soon as she caught and started to, she saw somebody open underneath the basket.
See AG going across the court there. You're going to have a man to interview here at the halftime break, AG?
Tim, Jerry Gentry, we hope to interview him, and also Clayton Washington's here. We might get a few comments from Clayton. Clayton says this team can go all the way.
Well, I tell you, I'll have to agree with Clayton, and he's an old basketball coach too, and he sees some good talent out there on that floor for this Phantom team.
Foul underneath. 50 seconds remaining here in the half. A good shot of the official, John DeDuro. And there you see Coach Mike McCormick of Kecoughtan. Not pleased with the call.
No, he's not, and he's a fiery competitor, and he learned it all from his coach in junior high school.
Who was that?
A real young man by the name of Bob Hent.
Oh, is that right? Going to the free throw line, Juanita Cook. She has 2 points. She will not get a second try. Tanya Carrington rebounds for Kecoughtan. 35-14. Inside of a minute to go here in the first half. Shot put up, no good, and then a foul as Tanya Carrington got the rebound, but she was fouled before she had a chance to shoot by Keisha Reese. And it'll be a 1-on-1 situation for Tanya Carrington. Looking for her first point of the night. Kecoughtan 1-12, 1-14 overall, 1-12 in the league. Phoebus 12-0 in the district, 17-0 overall. 1-1 for Tanya Carrington. No go on the first, and of course she won't get a second try as the rebound comes off for Phoebus. Shavanka Chapman has come in the ball game for Phoebus now, number 14. Rebound lost out of bounds, last touched by Phoebus. Also in the game for Phoebus is Noelle Blanc, number 31. Nikki Reed, and Nikki is in fact the only starter still in the ball game for Phoebus. Tammy Boggs came out earlier with that ankle injury. We'll check out her condition at halftime. As we have reached halftime, our score is 35-14, Phoebus by 21.
And let's go ahead and go to AG over there. He's got Clayton Washington, principal of Phoebus High School. Go ahead, AG.
Okay, Bob, Tim, we do have Clay. Clay, 35-14, another big night for the Lady Phantoms.
Yeah, we are getting so AG, we're used to that now. We would be very surprised if it wasn't that way.
Well-coached team.
Very coached team. Coach Talon does a fantastic job. The girls are really taught basketball, and of course they display that every night they come out.
Clay, USA Today, I understand, I haven't seen it, but I understand some mention of the Lady Phantoms in USA Today. That's quite an honor.
Yes, it is. We heard that we were mentioned nationally. To be honest with you, AG, I don't see why we shouldn't be. We just got a fantastic team, fantastic girls team.
What about this team now? What you're feeling? Will they be there on like March 11th or 12th at the finals?
AG, we are already making reservations to stay at state tournament. So we're looking forward to being up there, and we're looking forward to being in the game for the championship.
Clay, good luck to you. Thank you. Clay Washington.
AG, I'm glad to hear that. Tell him to make sure he makes a lot of reservations because we're going to come up there too.
Be sure to make reservations for us too.
Will do.
All right, AG and Clayton Washington, thank you very much for that interview. We're at halftime. Our score at halftime, Phoebus 35, Kecoughtan 14. We'll return with second half action right after this brief timeout.
Welcome back to Phoebus High School and Gymnasium here at halftime with the girls game with the homesteading Phoebus Phantoms 35 and the visiting Kecoughtan Warriors 14. To give you just a real quick rundown on the scoring, Tammy Boggs had 12 points and went out with about 4 minutes to go in the second half with a sprained ankle. We don't know how she's doing. Nikki Reed's got 6 points. Kalisha Reese got 2. Juanita Cook has got 2. I'm trying to read your writing, Tim. Who's this?
Who's who? Monica Hart.
Monica Hart. How many she
Had
had?
11 points.
Good.
And Carlene Hargrave has
the other 2. And that's the total 35, and I'll let you run down the Kecoughtan scoring.
It won't be hard because
I know.
unfortunately for Kecoughtan, it's a one-person team right now.
And I
Don Pabst.
Go ahead. I was making a point that Tammy is back out here on the court, but I don't know if she's going to play or not.
11 points for Don Pabst at halftime. 1 point for Melody Ewing and 2 points for Roxanne Zur, and that is it.
And we're going to try to, at the end of the third quarter, AG is going to talk with Tammy Boggs, his mother and father, at the break. So we can look forward to that. And I'm glad to see that Tammy is moving. I don't know if that she's going to go back out. She is taking the ball, and she's kind of tender on that ankle, Tim, just a little bit. As you can see, she went out and is taking some practice shots, as you can see on the screen.
Has it been your experience, Bob, that many times if you have a slight sprain, it's better to try and exercise it if you can?
It really is, Tim, because if you don't, it gets real stiff, and then you've got to work through the stiffness, and then it gets sore too. So there's going to be some pain out there. But if she can walk through and work through that little bit of pain, that the ankle sprain will be much less severe tomorrow than if it was if she would just say, well, I'm going to stay on the bench, I'm not going to do anything. I'm good to see her out there running around and is moving as well as she does because she's a real integral part of this Phoebus team. As you can see, Tim, she had 2 points the first quarter and came back out here in less than 4 minutes, scored, 10 more points. So,
yeah, you're looking at Shannon Wayman.
And she's still got the bag of ice, Tim, that she's on her ankle. Hers was a real severe sprain, it looks like.
All right, Kecoughtan returns to the court. They're in the green uniforms. They're the visitors tonight. We're playing at Phoebus. Vicky Snyder, number 12, is out there along with 40, Tanya Carrington. 32 is Melody Ewing. Dawn Pabst is number 20. And Roxanne Zur, number 45, rounds out the girls' team for Kecoughtan. For the Phantoms in the second half, that is Athena Johnson guarding Dawn Pabst. Juanita Cook, Monica Hart. Keisha Reese is starting for Tammy Boggs here in the second half, and Nikki Reed rounds out the 5 players for Phoebus. Baseline move and a jumper is no good. The rebound comes off for Kecoughtan. Roxanne Zur has it, and she is fouled. Foul is on Juanita Cook of Phoebus. That is her second personal foul.
And as Coach Grievous Conrad, the boys coach, just walked in. We're trying to get a hold of Jerry Gentry, and maybe AG can get them at the end of this game or the beginning of the boys game. We'll see.
Dawn Pabst adds to her totals. Nikki Reed fires for Phoebus, doesn't go. Monica Hart's shot no good. Dawn Pabst had it for a moment, and now it's chased down and retrieved by Vicky Snyder, and then a whistle. As Tammy Boggs will check back in, and she'll replace Keisha Reese for Phoebus. So Tammy, much to our delight, is returning. Kecoughtan may have different feelings, but
yeah, but she may have had Mike Talon may have taped that ankle during the halftime break also, Tim. I don't know.
35-16 is our score, just underway here in the second half. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and A.G. Womble coming to you with the game of the week. It's our pleasure to bring you these games. Hope you enjoy our coverage of the Hampton City Schools basketball teams, both boys and girls. And the ball is knocked away, and Phoebus brings it down. This is Juanita Cook, tightrope walking along the baseline, dishes off for Monica Hart.
That was a nice pass. Monica broke toward the basket and was open.
Give the assist to Cook, the basket to Hart. Roxanne Zuer spots Tanya Carrington, but Nikki Reed picks her pocket.
She just stripped that ball, Tim.
Athena Johnson will fire, no good. Big Monica Hart rebounds and puts it in. So Phoebus is asserting themselves here in the second half. It's 39-16. $15 points now for Monica Hart as she enjoys one of her better nights, and that is her getting the rebound.
And we got a 3-on-1 break.
Dish it off for Boggs. Boggs traveled.
Well, that was really the fault of number 25 bringing the ball down for the Phantoms, and that's Athena Johnson. She should have passed the ball much sooner than she did, Tim, and as a result, there was a turnover.
Ball still belongs to Kecoughtan as it hit the backboard, but it was touched last by one of the Phoebus players. Roxanne Zuer double teamed, gets to Dawn Pabst, and Dawn is able to get away from one defender. She spots Zuer open. Her shot is no good. Rebound is put up and in by Tanya Carrington. That is her first points of the night, and it's 39-18 Phoebus.
And we'll see how her ankle is. She's a little flat on the shot. That was Tammy's shot was a little flat, Tim, so that ankle might be hurting her a little. She's not pushing off as well as she was the second quarter.
Nikki Reed got the rebound underneath and put it in for her 8th point of the night. Kecoughtan gets it across the timeline. 4:45 left here in the third quarter. 41-18 as Boggs steals the ball. Inside for Monica Hart. Chased down, but unable to keep it in bounds was Juanita Cook. And Keisha Reese will come back in for Phoebus. And she will replace Tammy Boggs, who will come out. Grimacing as she does so. I think she was mad because she wants to play.
I think that's what it was, Tim. It wasn't that her ankle was hurting.
Oh, what a nice play underneath.
That was a beautiful steal and play.
Athena Johnson stole the pass and then put a little reverse layup in there, just kissed it off the glass perfectly. And it's 43-18. That's one thing about Phoebus. They are not a one-person team by any means.
And the first basket for that young lady.
Vicky Snyder, there you see, number 12. As she gets her first basket, it's 43-20. Reed fakes. Kicks it out to Athena Johnson. Johnson's shot is off the rim, no good. And Zuer gets the rebound for Kecoughtan. She finally gets it over for her teammate, number 32, Melody Ewing, who in turn loses it to Athena Johnson. Back come the Phantoms. Johnson drives underneath, puts it in. So Athena Johnson with 4 points here in the second half. 45-20, a 25-point lead for the Phantoms.
Well, the Phantoms have stepped up their defensive pressure another notch, Tim, and that's what's causing all the turnovers by the Warriors.
We've got a foul. Looked like a jump ball would be coming, but it was not called that way. It's called a foul.
That will not make Talon very happy.
Nikki Reed called for the personal foul. Now Boggs will come back in along with Carleen Hargrave. And Nikki Reed will come out along with Juanita Cook for the Phantoms. Mike Talon has a very deep bench and doesn't hesitate to go to it. When you're leading by 25, you can.
Well, that was a mental mistake that Mike Talon doesn't want to see. You should not be able to get a pass straight in and a 6-foot jumper.
Tammy's shot comes off. A long rebound corralled by Kecoughtan. Then Tammy Boggs steals it. 2 on 3. Put it off the glass and good.
She seems to be moving pretty well on that foot now, doesn't she, Tim?
Yeah, because the coach took her out one time here in the second half, and she didn't like that. Now Boggs is called for reaching in. That's her second personal foul. That's what I've always liked about competitors is the competitors are the ones that don't want to come out. They don't care if they've got parts of their body dangling. They want to stay.
And she's coming out again, and she's not happy again. I don't know if it's because she's coming out or because of the foul. She didn't think she should have got that foul. But we got timeout on the floor right now.
2:46 left here in the third quarter. Game being played Friday night, February the 3rd. As the regular season continues and starts to wind down now, we're going to have some other games, a team that we haven't had on here yet, a team that has been tearing up the Peninsula District this season, and that is the Hampton Crabbers boys team. We will be at, who's Hampton playing the next game we're going to have?
Well, we've got them at, with Denby, Tuesday, and then the following Tuesday we have them with, I think it's Lafayette, and both of these will be played at Hampton High School, Tim.
That'll be our first chance to see Hampton. They've scored.
Well, together, I have seen them. I got a chance to see them a couple times played. I got one up and watched the Christmas tournament at Fort Eustis, and I have watched them a couple times. Went over there with Alvis Mann, one of the assistant coaches, football coaches, and we've gone to a couple of the ball games. So I will have at least got a chance to see them a little bit. These will be new for you, but there's some familiar names in Aaron Mundy and Eric Hunter, as you remember from football.
And of course, Kevin Swan is a very familiar name.
Oh, yes, he is.
Tearing up the league as Hampton is 14-2 and ranked 9th in the state as of this Friday. 15 points for Don Pabst. At any rate, we will have that for you. And of course, as I understand it, I don't want to make this statement out of school, so to speak, but I understand that as long as a Hampton City School team is involved in postseason play, we will follow that as well.
That's the word I've heard, and that's why AG asked Clay Washington to make sure that he has some reservations for us up there to the state.
Where is state being held this year, do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Richmond.
Okay, it was held in Richmond.
All right, the voice out of nowhere. That's Mr. AG, and I understand he's in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds going to have a chance to talk to some parents. And we've got a 5-second violation called against Kecoughtan. Don Pabst was closely guarded for 5 seconds without passing or shooting, and the ball goes over to the Phantoms. They lead 47-23. A little more than 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Inside, the big girl, Monica Hart, her shot doesn't go. She gets the rebound and puts it in.
Oh, just climbs in.
17 points for Monica Hart. And then we've got a foul on the inbounds pass. And the foul goes against Phoebus, Keisha Reese. That'll be her third. Kecoughtan with the ball. Trailing 49-24. Ewing's pass is picked off by Juanita Cook. And then she is fouled.
She should have passed the ball, Tim. She had two people underneath the basket that could have shot layups. And as a coach, you're looking for the assist, looking for the open man underneath the basket, get the ball to him so you get the easy basket.
Melody Ewing called for the personal. That's her third. Phoebus will have control on the player control foul. This is Carleen Hargrave. She's left alone. Now Athena Johnson from 16. It won't go. Juanita Cook rebounds and puts it in. Juanita Cook with her second basket of the night. She's got 4 points and her team leads 51-24. A minute 20 to go here in the third quarter. Roxanne Zur passes out. Melody Ewing, double team, puts the shot up, and she's fouled.
And that's what Mike wants them to do. When they get that close to the basket, you got to put the ball up, take some shots.
And this one is called on Keisha Reese. That'll be her fourth. She'll check out of the ball game, and Tammy Boggs will replace her. A minute 10 to go in the third, 51-24. Phoebus with a comfortable lead. Melody Ewing with 3 points, steps to the free throw line with 2 shots. She is 1 out of 3 from the free throw line tonight. Make that 1 for 4. Phoebus with a 1 on 2. They hold it up now, and they'll set it up. Boggs will step up, shoot from 13, and get nothing but net. Tammy Boggs with 16 points.
She's got a lot of confidence, Tim, when she shoots that ball. She's a hard worker, as all these Phoebus girls are.
Dawn Paps.
Oh, what a runner. Almost looked like she was out of control, Tim, didn't she?
17 points for Dawn Paps. Let's not slight the Kecoughtan girls and say they don't work hard too.
Oh,
they
no,
do.
I don't mean that.
No, I know you didn't. I just wanted to make sure. We said Kecoughtan, or rather Phoebus, works hard. So do the Kecoughtan girls. They may not get the glory, and they may not have the success that Phoebus has right now, but that doesn't mean that they're not out there hustling.
That's for sure. They're a hard worker. They put in a lot of time, and this is one thing that I hope that our viewers understand, is that these young ladies not only have to keep their academics up, Tim, but then they put in a lot of extra time on the practice court, and of course then you're playing 2 games a week. You play on Tuesdays and Fridays for just about 2 months, and it really goes into your study time, so it means you have to stay up a little later and study on weekends and things like that.
Melody Ewing steps to the free throw line, and she'll get a second shot. She has completed 2 out of 5 from the free throw line tonight, and she has 4 points on a basket and 2 free throws. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter, and her second attempt is no good. Back come the Phantoms. Nikki Reed looking down court. Tammy Boggs, no good. And rebound comes off for the Kecoughtan Warriors. Dawn Paps, I don't think she knows there's but 2 seconds left. She couldn't, with a hand as bad as it is, I'm sure she couldn't.
She knew it, but there was just nothing she could do. We got AG over there. Go ahead, AG.
Okay, Tim, Bob, we have Mr. and Mrs. Boggs, Jack and Pam, and you have to be proud of your daughter tonight.
Very, very proud of her, all the time.
She had 30 last week. She got off to a little slow start tonight and hurt her ankle a little bit in the first half, but seems to be coming on strong now.
Yeah, she's a working kid. Whenever she falls or anything like that, she never says, "Oh, I got to come out, I hurt." She goes back in, and then at home she'll say, "Boy, that hurt when I fell." But she doesn't want to give up the game. That's what she does.
All right, Pam, how competitive is this young lady?
Very competitive. She is. She'd play basketball 7 days a week if she could. She
even plays on Sundays?
She practices on Sunday, yes, very much so. She eats and breathes her basketball, yes.
She's Jack, she's got one of the best outside shots in the district.
Yeah, that's what I understand. And, I love watching her shoot. Seems like every time that I've seen some of the other players, they don't use a good form. Tammy gets up there and she plays the game with everything.
Okay.
AG?
Yes.
Ask the Boggs, both Mr. and Mrs. Boggs, for me, what they attribute her competitiveness for.
Okay, Tim was asking the question, what do y'all attribute her competitiveness from?
I think that's self-motivated. We've had her in karate. She's taken trophies in karate. She's got trophies for softball. She's played ball ever since we were in the service.
Self-motivation.
Self-motivation.
All right, Tim, back to you.
Thank you, AG. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Boggs. We appreciate that interview, and One of the things that always fascinates me, AG, I mean, well, AG too, but Bob, what causes or what propels a person to be as competitive as a Tammy Boggs or a Nikki Reed?
I'll tell you why, Tim. When you notice some success and you get some recognition, and Tammy gets recognition, I'm sure, from her parents. She has had success in probably most of what she has done, but she has probably get tremendous support from her parents, which is the number one thing that you have to get if you're a ball player in high school, is have that support from the parents. And you can see and hear from the way that the Boggs are talking that this is what happens.
I bring these questions up because, you know, it's something that isn't necessarily just assumed.
No, that's true.
Boggs, Tammy hits for points 17 and 18.
You would think she knew we were talking about her.
You know, one of the reasons I bring this up is because I'm a parent, as you are, and I have a son who's a good athlete on the basis of his performance to this time. He's much younger. He's only 11 years old. But I foresee a possible future for him in organized competition. And I'm trying to instill some of that desire to go out there and play all the time.
And I think just the recognition and your support, Tim, will do it. I know my youngest son was an excellent basketball player, but he decided early in high school that he was not going to continue with sports, which hurt me, but I didn't let him know it. But he wanted to concentrate on his piano and on his studies, and he got a lot of recognition from that too. And, of course, his mother and myself both supported him in that. And I think that's the key, the support from the family and the recognition. Everybody likes to be recognized. I don't care who it is.
Dawn Paps steps to the free throw line. She comes from a family of athletes. And she misses the first of the 1-and-1 and won't get a second try. Juanita Cook connects on the rebound. Of course, Dawn's daddy, Don.
No, John.
John, that's what I mean. Don was his brother.
Yeah.
John, I'll get this right yet, was an athlete in his days of high school. He went to school with me. He was a quarterback on the football team.
And an excellent baseball player. And he has one of his sons now that is Old Dominion, Ted. He has one of his sons now who is over at Old Dominion on a baseball scholarship, Tab. We got to see him play when we did one of the baseball games a couple years ago, Tim. Scotty said something to me and I didn't pick it up.
20 points for Tammy Boggs. She picks up where she left off last week, scoring 30 points, a career high for her. Scored those points at Bethel High School. Paps puts up a three-pointer. It's short. Back come the Phantoms. All alone underneath is Nikki Reed. And Reed has quietly put 10 points in for herself. Mike McCormick wants to call a timeout here and try and reorganize.
Yeah, it's getting a little sloppy on his end. They're getting too many easy baskets, and you really got to watch that, Tim.
5:38 remaining in the ball game here. 64-27. Phoebus, as you look into the Phoebus huddle, 20 points just to run down some of the scoring so far for the Phantoms. Reed has 10, 20 points unofficially for Tammy Boggs, 2 for Reese, 9 points for Juanita Cook, 4 points for Athena Johnson, and 17 points for Monica Hart. For the Kecoughtan Warriors, they more or less have just a one-person scoring machine tonight. That's Dawn Pabst coming off of that injury. She has 17 points. And then after that, it's 4 points for Melody Ewing, 2 points each for Tanya Carrington, Roxanne Zuer, and Vicky Snyder. You know, it'd be a good lesson, and it'd be interesting to get a chance to talk to some of the other parents of the star athletes to find out what exactly are the ingredients to create this competitiveness. I know they say it's self-motivating, but something happened along the way.
Something triggers it.
Exactly. I mean, there are competitors, and then there are people like Tammy Boggs, Nikki Reed, Dawn Pabst, who have natural talent, but also have that strong desire to excel. And I've belabored that point too far, but I find it an interesting concept. And as a parent, as I mentioned, who's trying to find the correct motivation for my own child, I find it interesting.
Well, but Tim, probably what would happen if somebody said, okay, this is what we did with Dawn, or this is what we did with Tammy, or this is what we did with Nikki, it wouldn't work for your son. It probably is something different for each individual, and I don't know what it is, except that I do know, being an athlete myself and a former coach, that recognition is one of the best things that you can do for anybody, regardless if they're athletes or what. I mean, when I recognized my managers because they do a good job, and people, you know, they really thrive on that recognition.
No question. 18 points for Dawn Pabst as she misses the second. Rebound comes off for the Phantoms. Tammy Boggs shovels it in.
Oh, she has got a repertoire. It's not all jump shots, Tim.
When you're hot, you're hot. Boggs had a hand on it for a moment, knocked it out of bounds. Tammy Boggs leads all scorers now with 22 points. And she scored 10 of her 22 points in 4 minutes of the second quarter alone. You wouldn't know she sprained her ankle earlier when you see her right there on your screen hustling all over the court. 4:53 left here in the ball game. Tanya Carrington throws an air ball up. It turns out to be a pass. Dawn Pabst can't get it to go in. And the ball is finally controlled by the Phantoms. They have a 3-on-none. Tammy Boggs dishes it back for Athena Johnson, and she gets the assist. Johnson gets the bucket.
And Tim, that is an excellent job that Tammy did. Most people would have taken the shot. She got the assist, and let me explain why assist is so good. When you shoot the ball, you're happy. When you pass the ball to somebody else who shoots, two people are happy. So it's a team concept, and that was an excellent job that Tammy did that time.
Well, you're looking into the face of Mike McCormick, the head coach for the Kecoughtan girls team, looking to next year.
Well, Tim, he is still coaching. They're behind 40 points. There's 4.5 minutes to go in the contest, and Mike McCormick is still coaching because this is a learning situation. Every time you're out on the court, you got to learn. You can't just sit back and say, well, we're getting beat. Just that's all there is to it. No, sir. You can still go out and play hard.
68-28, 4:33 remaining. Kecoughtan has trailed from the beginning. They trailed. Excuse me, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Look like we got a lot of new players out there, Tim, for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Keisha Reese is out there. And also Shavanka Chapman, number 14, is new in the lineup. The rest of the team has Athena Johnson, Tammy Boggs, and the basket counts.
Well, they're not making it easy on Dawn. She is working for everything she gets out there today. Yeah, there's a good shot of Ross Carney, who's one of the teachers over here at Phoebus High School, and is also the SCA sponsor. And a real dominant figure in Phoebus.
Dawn's try at the three-point attempt does not go. She's got 20 points, Dawn Pabst does. Not hard to pick out the outstanding player of the evening for Kecoughtan. 20 of her team's 30. Tammy Boggs with 22 now has 24. .345 left here in the ball game. Roxanne Zuer guarded by Keisha Reese. And it's stolen by Boggs. Tammy Boggs racing to the basket, passes off. Her teammate can't put it in. That's Hargrave. Underneath is Reese, and she is fouled.
That was a good pass.
Amy O'Brien checks in the ball game for Kecoughtan. She will replace Vicky Snyder, who comes out with 2 points on the night. So Kecoughtan's ranks were diminished yet further by the injury to Shannon Wayman early in the ball game, and she has not returned. She has been on the bench with ice on her ankle ever since early in the first quarter. Stepping to the free throw line now for Phoebus is Keisha Reese, who has 2 points on the evening. Her first attempt from the free throw line, it's no good.
And if I remember correctly, the last time we did a Phoebus game was over at Bethel, and they missed something like 30 foul shots. How are they doing tonight, Tim?
Well, I'll have to get my little total out here and figure this up real quickly. I think they're doing considerably better. They haven't had nearly as many free throw attempts as they had against Bethel. It was just last Friday night that we were out there. They've only had 4 shots, and they've made 3 of them, so definite improvement.
That's 75%, I think.
The foul is charged to Athena Johnson. That is her 3rd, and now we'll see the rest of the bench for Phoebus. Give me a test here to find out who's who on the floor. Noelle Blanc comes in, number 31. Tammy Boggs comes out. We'll probably have seen the last of her tonight. 24 points for Tammy as she gets a round of applause, as she should. Who else have we got out on the court now?
You got Chantel Pitt, number 33 out there, number 30.
Nicole Benjamin, number 30.
And you got 31. There's 32 is out there yet, Tim. That's Veronica Donnell. And number 12 rounds them out. That's Carleen Hargrave.
21 points for Dawn Pabst. And she's 1 for 2 this time at the free throw line. Controlled by the Phantoms. Inside of 3 minutes to go. 71-31. Shot is no good, but we have a foul. Foul is charged to Amy O'Brien, who just came in the ball game for the Warriors. Carleen Hargrave will go to the free throw line. She has 2 points, and she'll get 2 shots. I understand AG is going to try and get a chance to talk to some of the players and coaches after the game.
He's going to try to get up with Monica Hart, Tim. She had an excellent game. I don't know what the rebound she had, but I think you said she had about 17 points. And also try to get a Tammy Boggs and talk with her and find out just what she did to that ankle.
Dawn Pabst drives and scores. She's fouled, and she'll get a chance to complete the 3-point play.
And we got number 11 and number 23 for the Phantoms coming in. That's Lucretia Williams, number 11, and 23 is Tanya Brooks. So Mike is emptied the bench as far as I can see, Tim.
Dawn Pabst with point number 24 unofficially. She has 24 of her team's 34. And traveling is the call. Didn't look like she really moved her foot.
She didn't. I wish we had that on replay. She hit it. She faked the official out.
Bob.
Yeah, go ahead, AG.
That slow-mo is missed tonight. I might take this opportunity to say, you know, that missing calls like that, or some of the calls are seeing some of the great plays over again. The job that Joe's been doing is really being missed tonight. I think we can tell since we've had it, now that we don't have it, it makes a big difference.
Oh, it most certainly does, and that's a point well taken. So we can't look back now and see him because we don't have Joe here. But
I don't feel so bad. He's down in New Orleans.
I knew that Tim is just jealous.
One thing about that, Tim, Bob, Joe was going to take his wife and 2 children down. It's a 16-hour drive, and he said he was going to get to know his family real well.
I don't envy that 16-hour drive.
No, that's no vacation for me. I know my family real well. In 16 hours, I'd be ready to either be killed or kill.
That's a good point. Joe who? Look at I think I can't believe we just forget the guy, right? Of course, now we haven't been talking about Sam. Now, Sam's supposed to be down on a business trip, if I'm not mistaken, down to Dallas, right?
Sam who?
There you go. How quickly we forget. 73-34 is our score. Phoebus comfortably in front. At the free throw line for the Phantoms is Chantel Pitt, and she is 0 for 1 from the free throw line with a second chance coming. And she gets 1 out of the 2. Minute 35 left, 74-34. Please stay tuned. At the conclusion of the ball game, AG will have a chance to talk to a couple of the Phoebus players, maybe the star for Kecoughtan as well, if he is fortunate enough to do so. And we'll have some post-game interviews, so stay tuned for that, please. Long shot put up, no good, and back come the Phantoms. Hargrave, and then a foul. And the foul is on Miss Hargrave. 1:08 left, 74-34. We're going to have to, I don't mean to complain here, Bob, but maybe you can pass this on to AG here. We got to get some seats with some backs on them for these games. This is tough. This is out hazardous duty pay here.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe we can steal one of the bench.
Well, let me tell you, when we go over to Hampton, it's not going to be a whole lot better. Because their gym is set up similar to this, not like Kecoughtan or Bethel, where we have the area between the bleachers. We don't have that here. But I want to say thank you to Clay Washington and Harry Bennett, the AD, and for all the help that they have given our crew setting up here at Phoebus High School.
Tanya Brooks gets a basket. Yes, I didn't want to sound like I wasn't appreciative, because we always get the utmost cooperation from all of the schools, and we do appreciate it. They go out of their way to make us feel comfortable. Although some soft cushioned back seats would have been nice tonight. Dawn Paps will get another shot from the free throw line.
She took a shot at the head.
Good thing I got the hot tub going at home.
Oh, well, I might just go out and see you. Do I need to bring a bathing suit, or you have one extra one?
Yeah, you and AG can share one. 25 points for Dawn. Chance to add, and she does, 26 points. So in the losing cause, Dawn Paps is an outstanding player with 26 of her team's 36. And the cross-court pass goes out of bounds. It'll go back to the Warriors. Dawn Paps has been a busy young lady tonight.
And she's been in the whole game, Tim. She has not come out.
Ball is loose momentarily, finally controlled by the Phantoms. This is Carleen Hargrove. She'll fire from three-point range, off the rim, no good. And that's going to be it. That's the buzzer ending the ball game. So after one quarter, the score was 14-9, a 5-point lead for Phoebus. Halftime it was 35-14, 53-27 after three, and a final score of 76-36, a 40-point margin of victory for the Phoebus Phantoms, and they improved their record to 13-0 and 18-0 overall. Kecoughtan falls to 1-13 and 1-15 overall. AG, I understand you got Dawn Paps right in front of us.
Yeah, Don, great game individually for you, but 25-30 points, disappointing loss, but how's the hand?
It's doing pretty good. Every once in a while it starts hurting, if I'm jamming or something, but other than that, I've been doing good. I've been working hard and trying to strengthen it back up.
Okay. What about the game tonight?
I thought we played a good game. Phoebus is ranked #1, so, I think we played very good against them.
Okay, glad to see you back out here. A lot of thrills watching you. Good luck the rest of the season, Don.
Thank you.
All right, got Monica Hart and Mike Talon. Monica, great game, rebounding, scoring-wise. Big win for you tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach, what about this young lady?
She's steadily improving. I wish she'd get more aggressive a little bit earlier and have a little more confidence in herself. She should dominate this area.
What about the rest of the season, Monica?
I hope I improved much more than I am now. I've been going kind of slow, but
What's the key in those in the rebounding game?
the key is to watch the ball come off and time it for the right moment to go up and get it.
Okay, well, she's doing a great job tonight, Mike. Good luck to you and her the rest of the way.
She played real well tonight. Thanks.
Great game. Thank you. Thank you, Monica.
Oh,
Mike.
There's a good shot, Tim.
Yeah, we
There's
got
a good
well, we
shot.
got one more interview here.
Mike outgunned tonight by 40 points, but it was nice to see Dawn out have a good night.
Dawn did have a good night. You know, it's been a slow return for her, but she's really working hard and trying to play within the offense. She has so much ability, AG, and she showed it tonight.
Mike, been a kind of a rough season for you, but good luck the rest of the season. We're looking forward to next year.
Well, thank you very much. You just saw an excellent ball club here, and I wish Phoebus all the luck in the world.
Okay, Mike, thanks. Good job. Mike McCormick.
All right, head coach Mike McCormick. In a losing effort, his team was paced by Dawn Paps with 26 points. And for the other side of the coin, Tammy Boggs with 24, 17 for Monica Hart, 10 for Nikki Reed, and 9 for Juanita Cook, among others. So a well-rounded Phoebus attack. They continue to be awesome. I guess that's the only word to use at this point. Bob, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, Tim, the game ended up like I thought it would. I was glad to see that Dawn was able to play the whole game and score the points she has scored. She got some help for some of the other girls, but as you notice, Mike McCormick never stopped coaching the whole time. And Mike Talon's team is awesome. That's all I can say about it. And we were looking forward to following them all the way to state.
All right, the final score again, Phoebus 76, Kecoughtan 36. For Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.